Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation on Android with Citra, and Citra just got a brand new look and feel. So we talked about this one before when it was a work in progress, but as of Citra Canary 2678, it has been implemented. And that's the Android UI Overhaul, Part 1. UI stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, her user interface depending on how you want to interpret that. And this is huge. It's a complete rework of Citra Android's UI with many new features. A new 3-tab layout to navigate between the games list, search, and all of the options that were previously in the top app bar. A new card look for each game. A new setup flow, a GPU driver manager. System files page to download the home menu system files and boot the home menu. A new blue app theme, and several stability and performance improvements to the UI. If you wanted to check this one out on Android, you absolutely can. Head to citra-emu.org and click on download. From here, click on manual download, and then scroll down to Canary build and pick up the latest version for Android. The Canary version is the more experimental build of Android. If you wanted a more stable build, you can pick up the latest nightly, but it won't have these changes just yet. Moving on, and we're talking about Nintendo, and if you're a content creator, this is probably relevant information. Video Game Esoterica just posted a brand new video, and I do recommend checking it out. I'll drop a link in the description below. All of the information can be found right on Nintendo's website, Nintendo Game Content Guidelines for Online Video and Image Sharing Platforms. And it was updated on October 24th of this year. I'll drop a link to this in the description below as well. Under question 10 here, in the FAQ they say, will there be cases where Nintendo will remove content from sharing platforms? And they say, yes, we reserve the right to remove any content that we believe is unlawful, infringing, inappropriate, or not in line with the guidelines. In some cases, Nintendo may take down videos on behalf of our third-party partners. Notice how they say we believe. Emulation has been proven in court to be legal as far as I know. So if Nintendo doesn't think so, well, Nintendo seems like they're going to go after things. I mean, in my opinion here, question 11 kind of drives this point home. What do you mean by content that is unlawful, infringing, or inappropriate? And I've highlighted the relevant bullet points. Show us how to use software and or devices that circumvent security measures deployed by Nintendo to protect against infringement of its video games and console systems, such as emulators and or other circumvention software. And the second point here, features unauthorized game consoles and or software not licensed by Nintendo. Obviously, these emulators are probably not going to be licensed by Nintendo. So it appears that if Nintendo can't do anything legally against emulation, they're going to try to find some ways to shut down emulation content. Get less people talking about it, I guess. There's even more stuff that I didn't go over. Again, I recommend checking out Video Game Esoterica's video. It's not very long, it's very well explained, easy to understand. And he's got a very deep understanding of intellectual property and copyright law. Obviously, I don't agree with what I think Nintendo is doing here, and as for me, I'm still going to bring you the latest and greatest emulation news. And speaking about news, next up we're talking about something that just appeared on GitHub, an editor for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, currently a work in progress. And this appears to be a level editor for the game. And on top of that, interestingly enough here, GameBanana seems to be a very popular spot for mods and resources by the Super Mario Bros. Wonder modding community. And there's some very weird stuff in here, like Vegito in Mario Wonder. Moving on, and we're talking about Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto 6. And today, Rockstar confirms something pretty darn huge. This is a message from Rockstar Games. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. It's right on their website. We are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. That is just in a few weeks. Next up, we're continuing to talk about something awesome, Icewind Dale 2 Enhanced Edition. Now, the source code for this game was lost, and Beamdog can't do an official Enhanced Edition. So fans did one. Improvements include widescreen support, revised difficulty, quick slots, faster loadings, new spells, and recruitable NPCs. If you are curious about this one, I'll drop a link to the actual Beamdog forums in the description below, and everything you need to know and more is here. And speaking about fan stuff, next up we're talking about Space Hunter for the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis. This is not Super Metroid, it is Space Hunter. If you wanted to see this demo in action, I'll drop a link to the YouTube video in the description below. And I'll drop a link to this YouTube video in the description below as well from Genesis 814. There are some very interesting things over here. And speaking about interesting things, well, we do that every video. Next up, we're talking about PlayStation 4 emulation with Obliteration. And Obliteration has just created their website. This emulator is not yet available for full-blown PS4 emulation. It's currently a work in progress. But here's a handy website if you wanted to pay attention to it. Moving on, and we're talking about Fallout 4, and a very big mod for Fallout 4 was just released called America Rising 2, Legacy of the Enclave. I'll drop a link to the YouTube trailer in the description below and feel free to check it out. This mod seems to be available over on Nexus Mods, and it seems to have something crazy like over 20 brand new quests. And last up here, we're talking about Linux on mobile with Ubuntu Touch, and Ubuntu Touch OTA 3 was just released. So this latest update features the latest security updates for Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. And it's the first Ubuntu Touch 20.04 system image release for the PinePhone, PinePhone Pro, and PineTab, although they are considering it a beta release. If you are curious about this one, I'll drop a link to the full changelog in the description below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.